What's up, YouTube? It's your boy J Gamer 300 back at it again with another video. And this time I'm doing a recap of UFC 211. The fight card lived up to all the expectation. It was great. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings and watched all the fights from Dustin versus Eddie Alvarez up to the main fight, stipe miocic versus Junior Dos Santos. So I'm gonna do my recap on the fight. And so first, let's go over Dustin Poirier versus Eddie Alvarez. This was on the prelims, but I felt like this card should have been on the main card, the main event. A war. Both guys were hurt. Both guys were going against each other. Dustin Poirier had Eddie Alvarez busted and bleeded up, but you know, that's the Eddie Alvarez fight. He always gets beat up and then he has a chance to come back. He has a warrior mentality, and I feel like Eddie Alvarez, he should stop fighting like this, man. He's getting up there in age, and he's not gonna be able to fight like that forever, you know. Like, this is how the fight went down. Dustin Poirier beating up Eddie Alvarez on the feet. Eddie Alvarez comes back with rage and, you know, typical warrior mentality. Comes back into the fight. Took Dustin Poirier down. He had him up against the cage, and he was leaning up against the cage. One hand on the floor, no knees on the floor, like basically hunched over, no knees on the floor. So that's legal to land a knee in somebody's head. One hand on the floor, no knees on the floor. It's legal. You have to have two hands on the floor for it to be illegal, or a knee. So he landed that knee. That knee hurt Dustin Poirier, and he fell down. So one knee was on the floor and the hand was on the floor. And then Eddie Alvarez kneed him again. Now that's an illegal knee. So that was an illegal knee. They called the fight off. It was a no contest, which was very controversial because it should have been. I heard Dana White talking about it. It should have been a disqualification, and I guess Poirier should have won. But he was talking about, since the UFC has no instant replay, they just called it off as a no contest. So now we're gonna move up to Yair Rodriguez versus Frankie Edgar. First, I picked Yair Rodriguez because superior striking, and I'm like, damn, he's such a good striker. Frankie Edgar is short. He's just going to keep him at bay in the strike. Leg kicks, all sorts of leg kicks. But then it came to me. I'm like, Frankie Edgar's no joke. Former lightweight champion. He's a freaking beast. He wrestled, he could strike. First round, Frankie Edgar stalked Yair. He put that pressure on him. Yair was throwing kicks, block everything. Got it to the ground, and just ground and pound Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez did not know what to do when it got to the ground. Frankie Edgar was in dominant position, in control of the whole fight when he was on the floor. He was in control of the fight when he was standing up. Like, he was blocking all his strikes. Frankie Edgar came in there with a fresh face, left with a fresh face. That's how, like, dominant he was in that fight. Landed a nice clean elbow, swole up Yair Rodriguez' left eye. Same thing, got him on the floor, boom, kept hitting that eye, swole up, couldn't see. Third round, going into the third round, doctors looking at Yair's swollen eye. They lift up like this big swelling on top of the eyelid to see if his eye is still there. Like that means like he cannot see if they had to lift it up to look at his eye. So they called off the fight. Frankie Edgar, dominant against a young buck like Yair Rodriguez. Frankie's never out of it, man. So now we're going to move up to Demian Maia versus Masvidal. This was a fight I was looking forward to. Masvidal's on his way to the top. Demian Maia is at the top, just banging on the door, just knocking on Tyron Woodley's door. Give me the title shot. If Masvidal stuck to a game plan and Demian Maia got out there, just barely got out of that fight. Masvidal did a fantastic job of his submission defense. Masvidal was really in control, landing leg kicks, throwing punches, throwing fluent punches, throwing leg kicks with no wind up, just throwing them out there. And he was doing a really good job of throwing these leg kicks in and keeping Demian Maia at bay so he wouldn't launch in for a takedown. But Demian Maia felt those leg kicks, felt those punches, and he just went into like panic mode. Jiu-jitsu, take him down. So he just like just shooting for takedowns with like no time and nothing, just shooting for takedowns. And then before you know it, by the blink of your, like, I'm telling you, it happened so quick. Bomb. Damian Maia had his back. I'm like, yo, how does this dude, like, he's so slippery. He's like a snake. He's so slippery. Just boom, got around him. Before he went for the takedown, all I can remember, he was holding his leg. Bomb. He's on his back. I'm like, yo, this dude is just a beast. He's a beast when it comes to grappling on the floor. BJ, like, he's a beast, bro. Got to his back. I'm like, oh, man, the fight's over. I'm like, in my head, there's no way Masvidal's getting out of this. Masvidal did a great job of his submission. His submission defense was on point. So Damian Maia is trying to lock up the choke in the first round, and Masvidal did a very good job of pulling both of Damian Maia's hands to the side. So we're like, Damian Maia is looking for the choke, and he got control of both of the hands and pulled it to the side of his body. So Damian Maia is basically hanging off and hanging on at the same time, and Masvidal was holding on to his hands so he can't go for the submission. That was great submission defense in the first round. Yeah, so I can't remember if it was the second or third round where Masvidal, he's stopping all of Damian Maia's takedowns. I'm like, good job, just keep the fight on the feet. And he stopped a takedown, and Damian Maia, he stopped the takedown, but instead of just popping right back up and going back to his feet, Masvidal stayed on the floor and tried to ground and pound. I'm like, no, you have to escape the ground game immediately. Like, just escape it at all. Like, stop the takedown, and just get back up to your feet. He did a good job stopping the takedown, but he stayed on the ground. Like, that's easy money for Damian Maia. He stayed on the ground. Damian Maia, like the snake he is, wrapped around him, kept the fight on the ground, and he had dominant position on the ground. And then in the third round, he did the same thing, had dominant position on the ground, and won the fight. Hats off to Damian Maia. He gets the title shot against Tyron Woodley. Hats off. It was a good fight. And then up next, we got Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Jessica Andrade. Complete domination. Joe Rogan said it was a clinical dissection. And that's exactly what it was. First round, Jessica, she scared me for a little bit because I'm a huge Joanna Jedrzejczyk fan. She stormed her a couple of times. I'm like, oh my god. But I knew that storm is not gonna last. The storm is only for the first round because that's the type of fighter she is. Stormed her a couple of times, looked pretty good, but Joanna just did her stuff. She landed those leg kicks. Oh my god! It was to like outside of the knee, where Jessica was like, she didn't know, like she was expecting leg kicks to the knee, and then Joanna went up straight to the head. Bang! She caught her like at least 5-6 times to the head with head kicks. It was just clinical striking. The first round, Jessica had a good chance, and then right after the first round, she just boop. It was all Joanna just controlling the fight. But hats off to Jessica. After every punch, after every kick, after every strike, she just kept pushing forward. She kept pushing forward till the bell rung in round 5. So, like Joe Rogan said, she showed the superior toughness and just warrior mentality just to keep pushing forward when she's getting destroyed. All those strikes landing on her, she just kept pushing forward. And shout out to her. She earned herself a fan. I'm gonna watch her. Now let's move on to Stipe Miocic versus Junior Dos Santos. So I made a prediction. I thought Junior was ready, man. Stipe proved me wrong. Like, Junior, he came out pretty good in the fight. He landed 2 leg kicks, 2 hard leg. You could hear them snap. 2 hard leg kicks. Stipe Miocic's knee swollen up instantly after those 2 leg kicks. Stipe, man, he really got better. I thought he didn't. He got better, bro. Like, he recognized those leg kicks hurt him and buckled his knee, and he just pushed forward. He was like, I can't allow it. This is a 5-round fight. I can't allow it to take no more leg kicks. This was in the first round. He recognized this. He landed two. Junior Santos landed two leg kicks like that on him. Knee swole up. I realized I can't take these leg kicks no more. Stalked Junior Dos Santos. Junior Dos Santos ended up backing up, and then he backed up. Boom, the cage is there. Boom, boom, left, right, boom, right overhand, out. Wasn't a clean knockout. He fell to the floor, got on him, ground and pound. Fight was over. Stipe, that was the best fight of the night. Stipe Miocic, man, you got me. Well, I respect you. I'm not a huge fan, but I respect your skills, and I'm not gonna doubt you in any fights no more. I'm not gonna. Masvidal, just work on your little. Just mentally, you have to know when to kill, because you kill or be killed. You did not go out there and try to kill Damian Maia in the third round. Cost you the fight. Joanna and jedrzejczyk, keep doing what you're doing. Nobody's gonna beat you in that strawweight division. Rose Namajunas is gonna get lit up if that fight ever happens. Eddie Alvarez, you're too old to be fighting in these fights where you're just getting banged up and then wanna I'm alive in the third round and try to finish somebody. Like, you're too old for that. You're banged up. You need to stop fighting like that. That's about it, guys. If you like this, leave a like, subscribe. It's your boy J Gamer. Peace.